I'm very suspicious of technology, and I realise I'm in a minority when I say that, because most people, and probably most of the other people you've spoken to for this project, would say, oh, technology is great, it's amazing, look at what we can now achieve, it's fantastic. So I know it's not very fashionable to not be a fan of technology, but I'm not, because I feel like I should have been born in a simpler age, when life was just so much simpler and so much more natural and so much organic. I mean, maybe I was. But technology now is being very cleverly marketed as something that's really cool. It's being particularly marketed towards young people. As I said earlier, younger people are so much easier to mind control. They're so much more malleable. They can be shaped and moulded much more easily because they've not had the life experience that somebody of my age, my generation, has. So they're always in the crosshairs of the social engineers. And most young people you speak to will think that technology is great because you can now run your life basically off your smartphone, and you've got an app for everything. You can do anything you want to do. But the dangerous side of technology is that, on the one hand, it's being used for control and surveillance of us. All these technological breakthroughs were not invented and given to us because those that created them care about us and they just want to make life better for us and they're really nice people. No, they've been developed to control us and to lock us down and to keep us under constant surveillance and to gather data about us so that they know everything about us, our lifestyle habits and everything we want to do. And the other aspect of technology which people miss, and I bet nobody else has brought this up in any of your conversations, is that the controllers of this world that we now have, which is advancing every week towards transhumanism and this futurist artificial intelligence reality that in actual fact is already here. We've got the 5G control network just around the corner waiting to be rolled out. We've got a smart grid society where we now have smart cities, smart motorways, smart cars, smart TVs, smart meters, and all these devices are communicating with each other wirelessly via these networks that we can't see, broadcasting information and sending electromagnetic frequencies back and forth. We can't see it, but that doesn't mean it's not harmful. All this stuff is very harmful to human health. We weren't designed as biological beings to be absorbing all this stuff, all this radiation, all these EMF signals and stuff. Our bodies were not constructed to be able to cope with all this stuff. And if people think it's bad now, wait till the whole Internet of Things really gets underway and you have all these different signals causing who knows what health effects in large numbers of people because it's not been properly studied or examined yet. Then you have the fact that we've got this whole artificial reality being created. So you've got robots and Borgs and androids everywhere. It's no coincidence that the mobile phone brand is actually called Androids because they're getting you ready for this futurist society where everything is going to be digital, electronic and artificial. It's artificial in that it's not natural. That which is natural comes from the creator. Whatever anyone's idea of a creator is, if you want to call it God, if you want to give it another name, but, you know, the divine, that which is inherent to nature. We've got a world already, and it's worked just fine for who knows how many millennia. So if it ain't broke, why do you want to try and fix it? These controllers of the transhumanist futurist reality are, at the end of the day, occultists who are steeped in dark occult ritualistic activities, and they are Satanists. And when you mention Satanism to most people, they get it very twisted because of the way that word and its true meaning has been distorted. So people think you're talking about Satanism, you're taking a very religious viewpoint, and you're talking about the devil. It's not that at all. The word Satan in the original Hebrew and also in the Arabic rendering of it means adversary or opposer. And it means an opposer to that which is natural, which is pure, which is inherent to creation. So Satanists take something that's already there, that is natural, and they twist and invert it and give you the exact opposite of it. That's what Satanism is all about. It's about service to self. It's a very selfish mindset, and the doctrines of it teach that you should just do whatever you want in life. Just appease your own base desires and don't give a damn about how your thoughts, emotions or behaviours might affect others or the wider society in which you live. That's ideological Satanism, and that lies at the core of those that are bringing in this transhumanist reality. So what they're doing in creating this artificial version of things, the smart grid, everything digital, everyone running their lives off of digital devices, is they're basically implying that God or the Creator got it wrong, and they can do better. That is the arrogance of that kind of mindset. We can create our own reality, take what's already there, what's already natural, and twist it and shape and mould it in our own design. So that's basically these psychopathic individuals seeing themselves as God, or the equal to the one true creative force. So that's an aspect of technology and transhumanism that I bet very few people are talking about. How many people have thought about it that way?
True, and you really, really well said. One of those guys is Ray Kurzweil.
Exactly.
He's about, if you were watching his documentary movie Transcendent Man, at the end of the movie he says God doesn't exist yet. So he's about to create God. I mean, how crazy can you be to say that? And what do you think? Will he succeed?
Well, to me, guys like Ray Kurzweil and Elon Musk are complete raving psychopaths. They're mentally ill, and they should not be in those influential positions. Again, I know that's not fashionable. I know most people think they're really cool guys.
He's control of Google company. I mean, man, come on.
Well, exactly. And Stephen Hawking, if it was really him, also
not.
also used to speak about how great artificial intelligence is. Although I very much doubt that was the original Stephen Hawking, and I've got my doubts about whether, to my mind, Stephen Hawking died decades ago, and they've just been using actors since. But that's a whole different matter. So these individuals that espouse transhumanism, to me, are anything but heroes. They're the enemies of humanity. They're trying to lead us down a very dark and dangerous road. They talk about things like being able to upload your consciousness into a cloud and then download it into a new body. And they just sound like Satanists when they talk about this stuff. It's certainly atheistic. They are atheists. They don't accept the existence of a creative force, a god, although they're also Luciferians, so they worship these dark occult ideas, but they're atheists in terms of rejecting the god that quite clearly has set all this reality into place. And it's very dangerous where things are headed, and people need to wake the fuck up, really. Stop listening to mainstream news sources, because all you'll ever see from your TV is science programs saying, oh, it's great what technology can do, science is wonderful, and you get the same thing from magazines and newspapers, and you'll get taught it in universities and stuff. But there's another way of looking at this, which is to understand the true nature of this reality, because best believe these Satanists, these occultists, these Luciferians that I'm talking about, they understand how nature works. They understand how the human psyche works and how it all interacts, and they're using that as weapons against the rest of us. They're coercing us down this dark and dangerous road. They've got their Pied Pipers, their leaders like Kurzweil and Elon Musk and all the rest of them, and most people are just blindly following without understanding the true ramifications of where this is all going to lead. This is an artificial reality in which we now live. It's in opposition to that which is natural. It's in opposition to the Creator. And that can never be a good idea. A lot of religious people, I'm not religious as such, but a lot of Christians and other people that you speak to will tell you that we're in the end times now and we're heading for a big fall. And although the fine detail may differ in terms of how I see it versus how they see it, I don't think they're wrong. I think we are on the cusp of a major bloody disaster for humanity, unless people wake up very, very fast to what's going on with this smart grid, 5G, transhumanist reality in which we now live in.
Wake the fuck up. I like that. It's a great conclusion.
Well, yeah, you reach a point where you can't mince words anymore. You just have to say it the way it is. I don't know how it's going to pan out, man. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we're headed for disaster. Maybe in 20 years, humanity as we know it will be finished. Maybe enough people will start paying attention and veer this thing off. Maybe the controllers' plans will fail and they won't be able to put it all into place the way they wanted to. I really don't know how it's going to pan out. All I can do is play my part and communicate the information as I see it, and it's down to everyone else the way this pans out. I've done my part, others are doing theirs, but collectively we as a species are going to have to decide where this all goes, and there comes a point where your personal participation ends and it's a collective process only that can determine all this, and that's where we're at. That's all I can say about it.